All right, my friends, welcome back to the Sway and Batty League. I'm AJ Zero. I am here with Mr. My Wang. And folks, you know, watching the SBL sometimes can inspire you, can make you think this is League of Legends in a better form than what I see in my solo queue. This inspires me to be better as a person, as a gamer. And then some games just inspire you to drink. And folks, this is one of those games. We are playing for last place, bottom of the barrel here, in what is the biggest game of the season thus far, in my opinion, because with a loss here, Wormbound Crusaders are essentially eliminated from the playoffs. It's not mathematically over, but it is as damn close as you can get.
Yeah, they've definitely had a rough season, and I'm glad that we're seeing tonight a little bit of change up in their lineup. Taking some advice from myself on Batty Breakdown, and axing Civvy Beard for a game, and bringing Dolphy down to the support, and bringing in Phoenix into the mid lane, and then putting Cax, their original starting jungler, back in.
Yeah, sometimes in the SBL, it's just about getting the 5 best players onto the Rift together. And I think with, you know, the way their games have gone so far, you got to kind of try everything. You know, Civvy has looked a little out of his depth, has just not looked totally comfortable in some of these games. I know we've heard all kinds of different theories about what's going on internally with this team, and really it comes down to this team just has not been able to team fight all season long, and maybe this is the lineup where the ability to team fight a little bit will click, because they are definitely going up against a team that's vulnerable.
Yeah, WES and the Boulders really only having one win of the season versus Wormbound Crusaders.
Yeah, and the early picks here, I just want to comment, I really do not like the blind pick Janna. I think that's a pretty weak pick, unless Janna's in a completely different game state currently than she typically is. She's usually somebody you want to know more of what you're going against, in my opinion, unless you really care about knocking up Cax.
Yeah, I mean, like with Briar, sometimes like that really hurts the Briar. Oh, whoa! What are these picks?
Hwei.
Wait, are we just moving the Hwei to support?
Yes.
I can only assume
no,
so.
it's a mid lane player. Like, just take it down with you.
Support items are great this season. They're basically mid lane or whatever other lane items. They're very good. So I guess maybe.
Oh, and here it is. The people get what they want. It's going to be Salvo on the Jinx with the biggest game, like I said, this team's played all season here. Again, you win this game, you get to go into the third round robin with so much weight off your shoulders, because you're not going to get up to a top 2 seed. It's not going to matter. You're not playing for that first seed. And you're also basically guaranteed to not get that 4th seed, which means you have 3 games to just feel things out for a couple of weeks. And so I'm not shocked to see Salvo, it's been up and down, going back to the old reliable here.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that that Salvo really skipped page 1 of the playbook for so many games this season.
And I think it just speaks to the issues that WES and the team has had. It's this team that hasn't been sure how to step up individually, how to step up as a team player, when to do what. This is just the team where I watch this team every game, and I think, like, when will one more player step up in addition to the big 2, who have both been very good? WES has been awesome. Played his best game of the season in the last matchup between these teams. You might remember it was a 4-0-14 Trundle game until he died in garbage time under the Nexus. Participated in 90% of the kills. Like, WES has been very good. Bestis has been very good. If one person on this team can have an above average game, I feel like WES and the Boulders will win games.
Oh, wow. We are getting Mordekaiser and Irelia. Is this a more jungle?
Ooh, that's interesting. That is not a Master Splinter traditional. Obviously a man who's more or less picked the same champions for the last 10 years now, so it's always noteworthy when someone at his skill levels playing something new.
And an Urgot pick. These comps are both really
Thrifty
bad.
thinks it's Irelia mid, so maybe that is what we're going to see. Still an interesting pick. Probably forces WES to pick something AP, so maybe we'll see like the Diana come out. Is something he's really liked playing.
Yeah, I guess it would make sense in a little bit more of this melee-centric comp, and then you just have Jinx sitting in the backup line. Oh no, but we're gonna get fucking Sejuani.
But on the locked-in side, it's no AD carry for the Wormbound Crusaders here. So this last game, I said after the draft, I thought it was the best drafted game I'd seen in the SBL this season. This, on the other hand, there's a reason these teams have 0 wins against any team that is not currently in this match.
The Wormbound team is just mind-boggling. I mean, this is solo queue through and through. It's like
it's easy. Like, they're just playing Talia Hui bot lane. What do you not understand about that? Okay, so who on the Wesifist side do you trust to build MR this game? Because it's really clear, right? Like, you want a first item, probably some MR or very early on, which means they're not going to do it.
Yeah, the thing is the MR is like not even just what you need to build. I mean, Briar does a lot of AD, and so does Urgot. Like, yeah, none of them are gonna build MR. We're gonna see Merc Treads, and that's about it.
Yeah, but like in an extended team fight, you have to think this favors Wesifis and the Boulders a lot. They can very traditionally front to back, and
yeah,
the best part is like if you're Wes. You literally could just, like, if you can ult somebody on the enemy team, it's a legitimate ult to throw, because 4 of the 5 are playing squishy champs.
Yeah, I mean, like, Urgot really doesn't even get going for a while either, like, until, like, into his tanky phase of the game.
I mean, we could have a 45-minute game, and Thunder might not get as big as the one from last game.
I agree with that. And what Twitch chat is saying, Janna also makes no sense into this comp anymore.
Well, and this is why I was talking about how
more ranged carry.
This is why I was harping on it early. I know Joey loves the Janna, obviously, but it's literally useless in this comp. The only champ he can knock up is Cax, and he's essentially got to try to take 3-point shots from the logo all game long and hopefully hit a downtown Q, which is not reliable in team fights. He's not or reliable in lane phase.
Maybe the idea here is he has to control Cax so the rest of the team can build MR and not have to think about armor at all. Maybe that's the thought.
Congrats, Cax. You've gone from one of the sketchiest players in the league in your debut season to the man getting counterpicked with Red 1 in your second season. Oh man, this is I'm excited. This is going to be a shit show. I think this is going to be a really fun game.
Clown Fiesta. I'm making sure I'm subscribed so I can hit that clown. All right, yeah, I got the clown.
Oh, I don't even know like which one pick I would change on the side of Wormbound Crusaders. I feel like I would have to change multiple to turn this comp into something I like.
I feel like if I got like a real engaged top laner, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to fix this up a bit. But then, like, if you change to an engaged top laner, like, you're again worried about the damage shift being too MR focused. Like, especially in that case, like then it's a lot on Cax to be the only physical damage. And
we swap Ziggs for Renekton mid.
I do love the Croc.
And he might be able to handle Irelia. This is like our first Irelia mid lane that I think we may have ever even seen in the SBL.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we've seen much of her. She's not traditionally been that popular of a champion outside of like On the Winds back in the day, who would basically just pick Irelia every game for like 5 years straight. Disenchanted apparently used to play it. I'm assuming Cal's talking about back in the mid lane, but so we've had a couple of Irelia players. You've had like 150 players in the SBL, so we're bound to have had a couple players for every champ.
Yeah. Are you loading into this game? I'm
no, not yet. It was
zeros.
Like this last game.
Oh, okay. All right, there we
go. Yeah, and then you'll have to speed up once you get in game because you're going to be at least 30 seconds behind. I haven't figured out the best practice for this yet, but I at least am getting the overlays right. Oh no, it loads too fast. Everyone's on their fucking solid states and shit. I'm like in OBS, and then the game loads and yanks my cursor back in. So, all right.
The year is 2024. I think everybody's on a solid state.
Cringe, dude. All right, so we're gonna maybe not be behind at all. It's not letting me speed this one up. So, all right, we might actually see level 1 properly.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And it looks like both teams are just fanning out. Would have some fun level 1s, guys. This is what you can fan out in solo queue, man.
I think we got everything set here.
Minions have
I want to find something smart to say about this game, and it's just a head is empty. It's having whiplash from the last game. Thrifty, I can't believe you would put the high skill matchup first. Let me get all warmed up for that, and then see what the hell we're gonna have going on here. That being said, last game was like a low-key Clown Fiesta shit show for most of the game too, so maybe I am perfectly prepared for this. So junglers both started on the bot side of the map, gonna go bot to top here. No one has any knowledge other than seeing the bot lane show up
in the mid lane.
Oh, yeah, so it's gonna be Phoenix playing Ziggs bot. Hey, look at that. You know, everyone's favorites. We've seen this on the GG rankings for years and years.
I thought they just like nerfed Ziggs bot lane like a decent amount.
Well, if Salvo's an icon on Jinx, Phoenix Blaze is an icon on the Ziggs. I think he's gonna make it work. As Dolphy is trying to, doesn't even have to pressure 2 here, just pressures at 1. As you can be their side, good side. Oh, not gonna be sidestepping Dolphy, but Salvo's not able to follow up as Janna's is maybe the squishiest bot lane champ you can play. A lot of damage going on in bot lane.
I wonder if this was decided after the fact that they were gonna put Talia mid. This is actually a good Aurelia counter for at least some of the game, assuming that she doesn't get going.
Yeah.
Those rocks will stun Aurelia every time she dashes through.
Could be a very interesting pivot on the fly here. Obviously, this team's a lot of pressure, and sometimes you got to just play fast and loose.
Halfway between a lot of pressure and halfway between nothing to lose. What I feel about Wormbound right now.
Yeah, oh my god, this Hwei. There's a chance Salvo's never laning against Hwei before.
Yeah, I see him pop up as support in my solo queue games, and most of the time he feels like he does nothing.
Best is going for it all. He's going to flash out and does manage to hold on to his life there. Does the Aurelia evasion field work against towers?
No.
Well, then good flash out of tower range there off camera. Great start from Bestis to get the snowball rolling for his team here.
Cax completing his jungle.
Yeah, but you see Briar could go for a gank. Yeah, gonna go for a gank up onto the tank axe here, but it was a big wave. Gonna be hard for Thunder to engage through, as Thunder is running right past everything. So we get the stun. Not gonna get a whole lot to stick here on the tank axe. Thunder's just eating some range creeps all the way across the lane here. Nothing really happens there, other than giving West a chance on the other side of the map to go put some deep vision.
Yeah, Wes is gonna pop down and pick up these frogs down here.
I like this from Wes. This sets him up to have a chance to potentially gank bot lane after, or at least clear some vision out. He's in a good spot. Wes has been playing. Wes is so fucking good, man.
Yeah, let's see if
Cax is still going, and we're gonna just flash for flash out the top laners. The stun's gonna come down. Tank Axe trying to run under tower, and directed camera's gonna spoil it, because in the bot lane, some big damage going on. Dolphy the slow coming through. They can't quite get any more CC. We're gonna be some big lane pressure here. All right, Wang, you're a jungler. Cax just spent a long time in top lane. Do you think that was worth?
No, not at all. Yeah, definitely not. And also, he's like super slow on these Void Grubs right now because he hasn't gone back yet. This is still his first clear. He's only sitting on his starter jungle item.
Yeah, it's giving up a dragon on the other side of the map, which...
So it's... this is such a... I don't like this call from either jungler, personally.
Well, that's what we're going to get, so it's going to be a Grubs for a dragon here. As this early game starting to accelerate a little bit. Splinter does have the smite available. Gets it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And will presumably take his first recall now.
There was actually a Reddit post pretty recently that asking about what was the higher win rate, 2 dragons or 6 void grubs. 6 void grubs had a 2% higher win rate.
Interesting. I guess that kind of makes sense because 2 or 6 void grubs is a definitive advantage, whereas 2 dragons is just a... Like, you're up on the tempo of the game, but the advantage hasn't fully materialized yet.
Yeah, you get 5% bonus armor and magic resist with this, which is absolutely nothing at this point in the game. Getting like 1 or 2 points of either of them.
So we do see Splinter coming up into the top lane here. Tank X is level 6. There's no mana, no flash on Thunder. There's the easy CC chain coming through. Stun, stun, knock him up, take him out. Master Splinter on the board.
Get let's fucking go Mad Cow in the chat. I really do find it interesting that Mordekaiser has just become this like mega priority pick. Coming into the season.
The 2009 version of me is so happy right now. As Bestest one gonna go get pulled under the tower, take a lot of damage there.
Is that like 3 versions of Mordekaiser ago?
Yeah, it is a lot. I had to just like run out there and we don't got time for that because Dolphy gonna stick some damage onto Alano Joe. Phoenix has just not quite been on the same page as where Dolphy's going with some of the movement here. I'm not sure if he's ever laned with a Hue before, how much he's played the bot lane Ziggs.
I think he's played a little bit. I remember, so he was on my team last season, and this was one of the thoughts that we had to try and pull our team out of the gutter. Was to put him as AD carry.
So one thing interesting here, all 3 lanes with pretty sizable leads early on. Bot lane the smallest, only the 10 creeps, but that's still, you're happy if you're up 10. And some huge leads in both of the solo lanes. Bestis is nearly perfect CS here, smoking the cock off a Tuesday.
How does one smoke a cock?
Same way you smoke anything else. You light it on fire and inhale it.
Is it like a pipe deal, or is
I
it
would,
like
I would think so. Like this, you could. Which ends would you want in your mouth first? I guess is really the creative question. If you're gonna smoke from the tip or from the end you severed, but we don't got time for that because Salvo is in danger of being severed right now. No, your feet are so bad. The feet won the last game, but not this one. Salvo,
that was a good fear. Oh man, Dolphy hit an excellent fear. The stop Master Splinter coming in and making anything more of that play. That's sometimes a hard button to hit for Hue players.
Yeah, good on him because that would have been a dicey situation on the backside of that fight if big ol' Sejuani was running him down. Now watch, we got both junglers potentially going towards top lane. I think the junglers are going to see each other in the top side here. Watch for Irelia. Or maybe gonna just catch on a Tuesday here. Splinter has the stuns, a good flash out, but it ain't gonna be enough. It was not a good flash. Briar. And now Briar presses the int alarm. Cax going in, taking some damage here. The flash for flash. Cax will walk out, fortunately for him.
That always feels rough as a Briar player when you're just trying to help a teammate and then you get Briared.
Some good lessons to be learned here, like don't help your teammates.
Don't help the bad ones, at least.
Yeah, they are going for grubs here, but they got to be careful. They are being collapsed on from both sides here. They do walk up towards Tank Axe, though. That's not ideal, as Thunder in the running for bust of the season right now, keeping his strong campaign alive.
I just find it interesting that, especially this season, like Thunder feels like he's like trying to be Mad Cow and not being Thunder. He just feels like he's picked up all of Mad Cow's champions just to pick them up, and like.
I mean, it's just clear that neither of these guys could. Well, we don't got time for that because Irelia is dropping a lot of damage here. But being 2v1 on, the damage is coming through, and Irelia has no choice but to turn back, and it will secure the kill. 1 for 1. This is scary, man.
Yeah, definitely. Very scary rolling into the game, but Dolphy picking up that kill. You know, he's a damage support. It's probably going to work out pretty good.
I will see here in the bot side. You look at the champions, like, there's no way they're going to engage each other, but I look at the players, and I'm like, they would probably fight for anything. Briar is going to be the first one in here, though. There's a lot of CC. The ult is going to miss on Salvo, and that may be saving a life right now. Albino Joe does have an ult available if they need to disengage. They will not. As Splinter's trying to be the bait here, I think they really want to be juicy, and Splinter's not going to wait. Going to take matters in his own hands. There is no flash on Cax. There is not a lot of health. There is not any Joey! Is not going to save his life. Splinter from downtown going to keep this streak rolling here. As Salvo's getting excited, gets a second kill. Can they find a third? I don't think so. But it is still going to be... Oh, if there's an ult, it is going to be a flash out to dodge.
Elliot's still coming down from the mid lane. Tuesday's looking for it.
Good sequence of events there. Can they turn it into a dragon as well? They do have some good control here, and I think the threat of Bestas coming from the mid lane is probably enough to secure this.
Phoenix blue TP on tower there. Thought he might get a little bit more aggressive.
And now, Wang, it's currently a 400 gold lead here. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But it does feel like the things are just going a little better for Wesifus and the Boulders when things happen. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But we got to start thinking about 0-9 being in play, right?
Yeah, that, I mean, like, SBL is all just about pride. There's no prize at the end of the season. Getting to playoffs is its own prize, but, man, not being one of the 0-9 teams or defeated teams feels a lot better than going home with nothing in your pocket.
Yeah, a lot of pride here on the line, but we're getting ahead of ourselves as I am known to do. As Albino Joe, he's just getting chunked out. Every time I see him, he's face tanking something. It scared me a little bit.
Most aggressive Janna player on the Rift. Oh, but he's about to find out how long Hui's range is, as I think Thrifty got a couple of those last week.
As Salvo with a terrible W. Salvo's going to eat everything on this engage. Albino Joe is coming forward for the heal. Going to not be enough to save Salvo. A 1-for-1. Jinx does get the kill before dying, and now Master Splinter being chased on here. Tuesday doesn't do a lot of damage, though. He is a tiny, tiny Talia. And Splinter's going to walk out of that one. 1-for-1. Joey saving his carry's life.
Oh, wow. Pax getting caught out under tower.
What are you talking about? That is Daddy Smash's own outplaying the literal bestest one on the Rift.
Wow. I don't know how you did that. Oh, it was the Eclipse. Why does he have Eclipse? What Briar built like that?
He's a fighting game player, dude. Fuck around, you're gonna find out. Oh man.
Wow.
Keeping gold even here is we've got. I don't even know where this game is going to get blown open. We still feel like we're a long way away from that one.
Going in.
That is a long way away to get to Master Splinter, but he doesn't have a lot of help. He has to flash on a tower, and Cax, he is now a big, big man.
Wow, Cax made a couple of risky plays that definitely panned out in his favor, and you know what? Now his team's got 1,000 gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, he gets the bounty off of Master Splinter there, too, so he's got to be feeling good. If we look at gold, I mean, Cax is up 600 gold on Master Splinter right now. That is not nothing.
Yeah, the tough part that Cax is gonna realistically face for the rest of the game is that he only has like a couple of real targets once people get rolling to ult.
I mean,
that
he
really
just kind of fucked with that Aurelia that was
Yeah, he fucked with Aurelia now that just has Bork and Boots, but as she gets growing into the game, it's really hard for Hail Blades, Eclipse, Briar to.
Yeah, just like it's
stick
hard
around
for Joey to exist in this poke lane, the bot lane, where Jan just really doesn't have the tools to keep up, losing his life under tower. Now Salvo is under a lot of threat as well. I think he has to give this. He can't afford to lose his life here. But he's popped the heal there. An absolute disaster class of ADC play from Salvo, who is not the man he once was in any capacity. That was horrific.
Yeah,
and that's one of those plays where when you look at Westifus and the Boulders, I've been saying this all season, it's like there's all these veteran players, these guys who played in a lot of SBLs and a lot of tournaments, and you're just waiting for somebody to step up. And then you watch these games and you realize just how far away they are from ever making anything easy on themselves. And that's what League of Legends is about. Just, if you can choose between doing the hard thing or the easy thing, you should just do the easy thing. That's it. The team that does the easy thing a bunch is the team that wins games of League of Legends. And it's like every waking moment, this team has to pick the hard thing. And the only thing keeping them in this game is that they are up against one of the worst team fighting teams we have ever seen, going into another team fight here for the Rift Herald. Is Salvo trying to get some attacks out. Splinter's buying a lot of time for his team. Janna ult's going to come through for healing, it looks like. It is going to be a Rift Herald secured by Cax, but I don't know if anyone can pick it up. It is a 1-for-3 in favor of the Wormbound Crusaders. They secure Shelly, and now they may have a chance to blow this game open. There's no health on this mid tower. They're going to have a Rift Herald in top lane, but Salvo gets something that they really needed. Forces a flash out of Phoenix Blaze. I don't know if he can chase this one down, but if he gets some crits, if he gets the W, Salvo heard me talking shit, and Salvo is back!
Wow, just a wild sequence of events from both teams.
And
that's gonna keep hitting on this turret mid lane.
Yeah, should be traded for some big damage. Yep, Salvo gets that tower mid. And that is what this team really needed. Salvo sitting on 2,400 gold now. Gets a chance to reset, potentially, or I think they might maybe gonna try to greed out this dragon before the resets happen. A lot more members of Wes and the Boulders are here, so I think this should be a pretty stable third dragon for Wes and company. Cax, I don't think this is really worth fucking around to find that out, although he is kind of buying some time for his team here. Teleport coming through from the bot side. Talia's going to be in position, but Dragon is already down, and that's just another macro level misplay from the Wormbound Crusaders.
Yeah, just not keeping their eye on objectives, and man, these guys are really going to be hurting. Sitting on, looking at facing Dragon Soul in the face. But they are up a couple thousand gold, so they do have that going for them. The first point of MR was built on this team. That was not a Merc Dreads. Master Splinter picking up.
Let's go, Wes.
Negatron
veteran,
Cloak and
veteran
no magic.
Game knowledge.
Although we did opt to pick Sunfire first. There is another Sunfire option in the game that's a magic resist Sunfire. It's not quite as good as real Sunfire, but
yeah,
it would have been MR.
I'm cutting back to bot lane because Bestest one is gonna. Oh man, all that for walking away. Sad. All right, I don't even know, where do we take stock of this game?
We got Baron coming up here, 22 seconds. We got multiple TPs up, so there could be fights around there.
Yeah, it feels like neither of these teams are going to be that. fast to try to set things up. Like, I think these teams both want to slow roll getting into wherever they get to.
Otherwise, we're waiting a whole lot of time for Dragon to come back. 3 more minutes. Mordekaiser, despite being like he was down a few CS early on in the game, pretty much neutralized that that gap.
Yeah, it's not neutralized the gold though, thanks to a lot of turret plates going over to Thunder as well as some other neutral stuff. It's a 1,200 gold advantage for the Cunt up top. I think that is the biggest positional advantage, unless we include supports. Dolphy's up a ton on Albino Joe, but he's got kills and assists, so that checks. And Thunder's going to go get that blue buff steal right out from Salvo, trying to steal it back. Unfortunately, not able to. This game has slowed to a crawl after a lot of fighting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both these teams don't want to make a mistake. That's going to cost them their season, because...
and it looks like both these teams are ready to wait the 2 minutes for Dragon here. Obviously, Soul on the menu for Wesifus. Contesting Soul on the menu for the Wormbound Crusaders. And I know we do have a few AD carry players in chat. Wanted to ask about this a moment ago. Salvo did go for the Kraken Slayer first. I know, obviously, it's traditionally a pretty solid item for Jinx. I don't know against this team if that's the item you should first build. I figured 2 years ago that the answer is probably no. Curious if any AD carries can tell me what they think of that chat. So I'm constantly trying to grow my game knowledge here.
I know Kraken Slayer recently got changed to more of a bruiser item. It no longer scales off of AD. But I think AD carries still build it.
Every third hit does extra damage on hit, increased by hitting the same target. So maybe maybe it's not as much of a tank buster as it used to be.
Yeah, it used to scale on physical damage, that third hit, but now it scales on levels. Alright, so this... Dragon's gonna spawn, but...
Fine, so I'll trust that. Yeah, Dragon spawning here, Tank X still staying top lane, he's got the teleport available. We do see a kind of a late reset out of Phoenix Blaze here. Let's see here if either of these teams can find an engage. Yeah, he's not fucking around. Teleport coming out bright and early. Do watch here for Joey and Salvo when they're a little split, if they can get poked out at all. Because now Tuesday's matching also has his teleport available here. 18 seconds on the Dragon spawn, and it's going to be our first pick out here. Oh, Best, this one you played so well for so long, but when it counted, you got caught, and now a teleport coming out of Talia. I think Wesifus and company, they have to just give this trade it for topside pressure. That's rough.
Yeah. Dragon Wesifus definitely should have had in their hands. Man.
They're just a little too split, just not quite on the same page in this mid game. And that's kind of the story of how a lot of things have gone for this team. Like I said, they never do the easy thing. It's always the hard setup for the Dragon instead of the easy one. You know, they let the poke team kind of walk them out of the river control they had. And unfortunately, we're not coordinated enough to keep everyone close enough together. That's this one quietly 2-4 after looking so huge early on. Going to be interesting to watch kind of the next few minutes as we tail end of the mid game here. So still 3,500 gold lead for the Crusaders. And there's no way the team with all the pressure to keep their season alive that's been bad at late game in every game they play could possibly blow this, right?
The only team to lose with Elder Drakes. Oh no, Cax. Alright, you can jump over the wall, kind of. Alright, yep.
Unfortunately, it's just a Janna, so nothing too scared of being chased down by.
Alright. As a Briar player, this build kind of hurts. Like this, what the... So he's building both Assassin and Bruiser at the same time. with the Titanic Hydra and the Eclipse.
And he realized his team was all damage and needed to get some extra beef on the team.
And then swapped halfway through, yeah.
The team player,
But
he pivoted like, don't best this. Come on, man.
Oh.
You've been playing League of Legends for 14 years. What was that?
Phoenix is just gonna clear that up, maybe. Yep.
That's rough, because now he's...
Man, I hate playing against Ziggs. That's what I'd be thinking if I was Bestis right now.
SBL is back, baby. We got the old school here. Oh, that's a lot of damage on a Joey. That may force a bit of a reset here.
Oh man, that was a close tummy time too.
Yeah,
Ziggs ult down, and Urgot ult on that.
It's so hard here because Wormbound Crusaders, they get that control around Baron, but obviously they're such a squishy team. So it's like if they start it, they're under so much pressure from the damage that Baron will do to them against the Sejuani, who can just turn and engage in the pit. So it's like they can accrue these advantages, but they can't really press it because of their comp.
Yeah, they really need the Hueta and Ziggs to really poke down somebody before a fight even like gets going, and they only have a couple options on who they can poke down.
Yeah, Bestis and Joey kind of buying time for their team to get in here. Nesplinter's just going forward. They're done fucking around here. Albino Joe popping the ult to kind of heal his team up again. Bestis is very deep, but not going to do a whole lot. And now, oh, some big play from Talia. Salvo has to flash over the wall, but Tankax trying to buy time for his team to escape. They do not have the damage to close this one out. Mordekaiser are actually going to 1-for-1 on Cax. That's huge. That may take Baron off the table here. Oh, Tuesday flashes the Salvo W. Adds insult to injury. And now Tummy Time going to take out Tankax as well. 1 for 3 in favor of Wormbound.
Yeah, Jungler's down for Wormbound, and Sedge is still up, so there's no way that they can do Baron. That really hurts with such a huge victory that they just got there.
Yeah, at least they, Wes, gonna have to flash. That's actually pretty huge, because that's their flash engage off the menu now, as Wes is really trying to aggressively defend here. Not doing a whole lot. He's just the Sejuani.
And they're still able to murder towers with that Ziggs and 6 stacks of Void Grubs. 1 minute left for Hex Dragon coming up. Will Westifis and the Boulders get it?
Yeah, this is where we hit the really interesting macro state, because you kind of want to, both teams kind of want to have some amount of pressure on both objectives. If you shift really hard towards one, are you going to give up the other? Really curious to see what kind of decision making these teams make here. A lot of the teleports, actually all of the teleports, are available right now, so they have a lot of options on how to approach this macro-wise, and what feels like it's going to be probably the pivotal fight of the game here.
I think if I were Westifis and the Boulders and I was piloting this team, I would completely go towards Baron to give up Dragon. You got so long until the enemy team reaches Soul. You are behind in gold, and I'm sure that they can feel that they're behind in gold.
They missed on the Salvo's just coming out of base now. I know there's Hex Gates, but that was a super late recall here. Fortunately for Westifis and company, not an immediate start on the Dragon, which is going to give the team time to get here. All 5 members in the pit, and Splinter is not fucking around. He jumps straight in. He has an ult available. Can he find a big one? Oh, the tummy time is going to kill Master Splinter. And now Irelia going in deep, going to get killed as well. Can this team do any damage on the kite? Those are some low health bars. Watch Salvo! Watch Salvo! Getting excited, getting 1, 2, 3, 4. Can he make it 5? It's a quadra kill for Salvo. An ace for Westifis and the Boulders. And they are keeping this damn game alive.
Wow, and all Salvo needed to do was open up page 1 of the playbook. Pick Jinx, and he's been skipping it every single week.
Bro, imagine this guy fucking running it down on like stupid Twisted Fate and shit just to bait you into leaving Jinx open in their biggest game of the season right as this team's mental is hitting rock bottom. And then for that to happen, that is a backbreaker of a play here. Dragon Soul secured, all the gold in the right place. And now, what are they going to do to get on Salvo in these late game team fights? It's just Urgot and fucking
Briar,
Feet Girl trying to run through a Janna minefield here. This is absolutely set for Salvo to take the game.
Yeah, and if you're looking at like some of these like Cax ult is like one of the only things that are even gonna get back onto Jinx, and what has he missed? 3 for 3 of the last 3? Like, no, not gonna happen.
Yeah, so the big thing I'm curious to see in these team fights, I do think Wes and Bestas still need to be playing these fights pretty forward. You got to make sure that it's not super easy for the whole of Wormbounds to kind of stack their splash damages and chunk through you really quickly. The disruption there, it wasn't perfect, but it did what it needed to do in the last fight. I think another fight like that, knowing that they can execute like that, they now have a clear path forward through kind of these late game team fights here. So it is the Baron control kind of going towards Wesifis, but there's a blue ward right there in the pit, so I don't think anyone's really going to accelerate much. Watch this poke game. Obviously really easy for Wormbounds to be the pokers here. And so Wesifis has to be careful that they don't get poked out too much early on as they shift their pressure towards this mid lane.
Yeah, and Salvo took down that mid lane tier 2. They will have nothing to fall back to but an inhibitor. Wesifis in the Boulder has towers still in both side lanes that they need to take down. This is nearly free gold for them. They really should go and get those.
Listen, man, this team is not a shot calling team. This is a vibes and hand checks kind of team. And the vibes are on right now, okay? Alright, so looking at the state of the game here, we got 3 minutes on that Elder, so a lot of time to waste until then, because we do see Irelia, Sedge, they want to think about top, but teleports are all up.
Oh, Thunder looking like he was going to try and bait Tank Axe into a fight and then just gave away his position in the bot lane.
Yeah, that was a big, like, I don't think anyone was sure who wins there. And didn't want to commit out of Thunder, sorry.
Big group up. Oh, they must have heard me casting 3 minutes ago.
That's big because that when you're trying to dance around Baron, just getting that extra pressure in top lane opens up so much visibility for this Baron dance here. Man,
they're still just dancing, man. Oh, we
are so hard
we
with these champs.
2 minutes away from Phoenix Blaze,
welcome to the bot lane where you can play great for 33 minutes, but if you're the first one to get caught out, it's all anyone's gonna remember. Now look at Salvo, completely untouched, chasing down Dolphy, who's gonna get crit from down, flash forward, another kill for Salvo, and this is a 1 for 3. You call that worth it all, Chat Albino Joe, because this is gonna set up Baron for your team.
And that was super smart play on Jinx coming in there. Delphi tried to hit him with the blast cone backwards, but Salvo was smart enough to stop right in front of it and just walk forward when he needed to.
Way out here, Tank Axe going on the chase here. A lot of zoning out, a lot of time being wasted here. They do have to commit to this Baron if they're going to do it, and it looks like they are. How do I toggle those? There we go. Oh, well, we don't need to see shit from the entry here because this is going to be given up by the Wormbound Crusaders. And that is a big, big moment. Gold nearly back to even here. All the advantages stacked up in favor of Wesifis and the Boulders. How can they throw this one still? 40 seconds on the Elder. So the big thing here, you set up the pressure while you have Baron. You utilize the resource and then use that to pivot towards Elder. Bestas is currently in the top lane with no teleport available. So one thing to keep an eye on. As Tuesday's maybe finding Albino Joe here. So yeah, not wasting time flashing. Can't afford to give up this game state for his team. Good flash.
Wormbound Crusaders are going to take control of the pit, though.
Yeah, smart of them. Force this, and it is forcing Bestis to make
right
his way
into
down.
the bush.
Oh,
They already...
Albino Joe face checks a little too deep, does not respect the fact that he's Janna there, doesn't wait for his team, and this could be huge because now that wastes a lot of the time on the Baron. That is going to be a chance to set up an Elder here. And I like this play. Wesifis and company just shoving it down mid lane here. They want to force some base pressure to be reacted to. They're going to hope that that Elder Dragon goes slow enough here. And yeah, the team is pulling off. There is a collapse coming. And now this could actually be a huge catch. Salvo's going for a steal there. That should show that they're not on it. But this team, they are committed. Going to take the inhibitor. Now, can they get out? Salvo under half health here. Cutting up. Splinter's going to be able to dash over the wall. And it looks like the team will walk out. But
Organ Way going back to Elder.
Yeah, it looks like Wesifis and company, you got to just commit. You got Baron. Just keep shoving it. How fast is that Elder going? Look at how slow this is going. Phoenix is coming towards. They are going to need quite a bit of time to clear through this. And it's just Talia, a very, very diveable Talia from the mid lane here. Can Wesifis and the Boulders blow this base wide open? They're going to get the stun from downtown Talia. Not a chance in hell of walking out of this one. It's going to be slow, but it is going to get done. Now Salvo is finishing off this inhibitor here, but that is an Elder Dragon secured for 2 inhibitors. And Bestis doesn't stop fighting, does not respect. Phoenix gets his 11th of the game.
Briar connect!
No, Briar!
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's actually huge, because now that's 3 members of Wesifis down. It's not huge. They can't actually push anything with how far pushed in they are. Thunder, I think Thunder's teleporting to bot lane, gonna see if he can take a tier 2, but he's gonna get caught by tank.
Well, that's fine if one of these other teleports can come down with him. Yep, and they're sending Ziggs, but they sent him on a weird minion. I would have not done that. Alright.
Yeah, this is Ziggs. Ziggs can chunk through this tower. Right. Albino Joe and tanks in and see if they can defend this. That shield just gets blown up, and Ziggs 2 hits the tower. Now a chance for the Crusaders to force this down 2 lanes here. We got 5 seconds past this, 10 on Master Splinter. Talia on the base defense is cleared mid lane. It's obviously very far out as it's pushed to the other base.
Oh
no!
That Elder Drake doing work.
And now Bestis is going deep here. Wants to set some pressure up for his team. He's buying a lot of time. A Splinter ult across the whole team here. But there's just no damage without Salvo available. I don't know if this team can go deep to do anything here. And Splinter's realizing it a little too late. Phoenix with his 13th. And now Cax is going forward. They snipe Albino Joe. And what a massacre. What a nightmare of a late game here. This is game, right?
Why did they choose that? Alright, Elder Drake is only 90 seconds long. It is only 90 seconds long, and I feel like we've had 3 Elder Drake fights.
Look at these, look at these low health bars. Salvo's up at 8. If he snipes the right rocket, there's no way, right? One tower down.
These towers are going quick.
2 towers down. Salvo's coming through. Not a chance in hell. And the Wormbound Crusaders are gonna do it. They're going to win a game. The 3rd round robin is going to matter.
I'm happy for Wormbound. I'm glad that there was not a team that went defeated. That feels bad every season.
I mean, what can we say? If Wormbound Crusaders has 1 billion fans, then I'm one of them. If Wormbound Crusaders has 1 fan, then I'm that one. If Wormbound Crusaders has no fans, that means I'm dead. 0 kills or 10 kills. Good game.